Welcome, everyone. This is a meeting with the Board of Selectmen. Today is December 9th at 1 p.m. We're meeting with the Chief of Police, Chief Richmond, under old, is there a motion to call the meeting to order? I'm sorry.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion's passed. This is a meeting with the Board of Selectmen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Chief of Police here to discuss the hiring of 2 full-time police officers to the police department on the roll business. Welcome, Chief Richmond.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gasper. How are you?
Very well, and yourself?
Good, thank you.
Chief, I'll turn this right over to you, and you can brief the board quickly on this and move forward.
Yes, thank you, sir. This would be the final step in a process that began back at the beginning of August when the board voted to request the civil service list for 2 full-time police officers. Due to a number of happenings or circumstances navigating COVID and civil service, we finally were able to get to that list, get the accurate list. And we're looking to appoint 2 from a list of 2 that we have. Both are good candidates. One has a full-time academy already. He would be able to start and fill in immediately. The second one, we do have a seat secured in the Cape Cod Police Academy due to start in the beginning of January. That officer has already passed all his requisite physical aptitudes. So he's ready to go come January 4th, I believe the first day would be, if the board so moves.
Mr. Chair, may I just ask a question?
Selectman DeRose.
I'd just like to know, Chief, how long is the police academy training?
It is approximately 5.5 months, but what we've seen in the last, since COVID, so the last 9 months or so, is some academies have started and stopped. Usually those stoppages are very, very, very short, matter of a day or 2. If it were to go from start to finish, it would be about 5.5 months, full-time, 40 hours. I know there's been some plans made with these academies to do some remote work if necessary, if someone becomes infected, so they can still participate from home, or if they have to shut down a classroom for a day or 2, that they won't lose too much time. So short answer, 5.5 months, give or take.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
All right. And Chief, you said one of these gentlemen's, I believe it's Nathaniel Turgeon. He's already he's got the full academy already behind him. So that's great for us, right?
Yeah, it's a great time saver, and it's a great money saver. We're not paying the costs of the academy as far as equipping them. We're not paying salary for the 5.5 to 6 months. And he's been with us, since March of this year. He's performed very well. He has that full-time academy that the state runs in conjunction with the National Guard and the Worcester Police Department. He would be the third, ironically, he would be the 3rd candidate we've hired from that program. The previous 2 are still with us, Ryan Lavoie and Andrew Cordero. Both have performed admirably in their time here. So the program is well vetted, and I'd be very, very happy to be able to get Nathaniel on board.
Okay. Any other questions for the chief, gentlemen?
No. And they're both Acushnet residents?
Yes, they are.
Even better. Outstanding.
Yep. So, Chief, I'm going to offer up 2 different motions here because I think that's what you and I had talked about the last go around.
Well, things have changed a little bit in that one of the candidates had withdrawn from consideration. We have, I guess we'd entertain appointing Nathaniel effective, I would recommend effective the next Sunday, this next Sunday, which I don't have the date in front of me for payroll purposes. And the second one would be, I guess, to appoint Dominic Sullivan Souza contingent on his graduation from the academy, which would
that was what way I was going to set up the motions.
Okay.
Yeah, I was ready to go. I wanted to make sure nothing's changed for you. So you're saying you want to do Nathaniel Turgeon as a full-time hire as effective on this Sunday coming, which would be December 13th, Chief. Is that correct?
Yes.
This Sunday?
Yes, that would be fine.
Julie, you don't see any problems with that, right?
Nope.
He's trying to do it in sync with the payroll thing, which he always does, so.
Yep, that'll work.
Okay, gentlemen, I'll offer a motion to appoint Nathaniel Turgeon as a permanent full-time police officer, effective date December 13th, 2020.
So moved.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And the second motion, I'll make a motion to appoint Dominic Sullivan Souza as a permanent full-time police officer pending a successful completion of the academy.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr.
Dave,
Chairman,
you-
question. Yeah, to the chief. I know with COVID, it's tough, but would you be doing an appropriate like swearing in ceremony for Mr. Turgeon, you know, for the family and all that stuff? It's a milestone and a monumental event, and I know he comes from a long line of public safety personnel and police officers. So if you could do that, that would be great.
Yeah. I had a conversation with him this morning.
good.
And actually, once we're done with this meeting, I have Town Clerk, Mr. Bonte, coming to swear in our newest part-timer who started the part-time academy around this time and finally finished in September. So we're going to swear him in today part-time, and we'll make arrangements with Mr. Bonte to do something for Nathaniel, I would say probably next week.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Chief, we could always, if you wanted to, we can work with cable. I'm sure if you wanted to videotape the ceremony, and we can put that up online too. So if people can't make it, they can still watch it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Julie.
Chief, you all set? You need anything else from the board while you got us?
No, I'm good. Thank you very much.
All right, let the two officers know we say congratulations.
I absolutely will. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you,
Take care.
Chief.
Thank you.
And I probably just have to talk to civil service tomorrow. I'll contact them and let them know that we did this appointment, and we'll do what we can.
Yep, I know they're on the list, Lisa, so we shouldn't have a problem with civil service.
Yeah, that's
Right.
fine.
And the only other business that we have is on the new business, COVID related business. Ms. Hebert would like to speak to the board.
Sure, Mr. Chair, too, I know you don't have the agenda in front of you. We did have on our new business, number 1 was the PJ Keating. Do we want to vote to table that?
Sure, is there a motion to table PJ Keating discussion for today?
So moved.
I'll
Oh,
second.
motion to table discussion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, just one thing on PJ Keating, if it's okay. I've taken the liberty of drafting a potential fee schedule associated with the permit that we need to consider in December 31st. I've submitted it to Julie. I've asked that she type it up and present it to you all for consideration and for discussion the next time we meet on that subject. It's just it's a conversation starter, but I think it's something that may help us down the road. So I just want to give you that FYI.
Okay, very good.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hebert, you have a
COVID.
conversation with the
I'll go
board?
quick. We're in a spike with COVID. For the town of Acushnet, as of yesterday, we had 55 total cases in the month of December. Today we had 34 new cases show up today alone. So we're just seeing a huge surge, not just in our town and the whole state and the country. I'm sure you're aware, Governor Baker made a lot of announcements yesterday. He's really pushing to pull all of the towns back to phase 3, step 1. Acushnet was already in that because of being in the red so many times, but they made a lot of suggestions related to cutting back capacities in office spaces. And they also encouraged teleworking. And this prompted the discussion today for should we go back to our remote access policy that we had in the spring. I will say there are some changes from the spring in the sense that we have laptops for all employees. So I know the remote, just to remind people, sorry, the remote access policy was essentially one person per office in the building at a time, and other employees were working from home. And we, through CARES, we've been able to secure laptops for all employees. And so we have a stronger sense of IT now, where people have a lot easier of a time working from home, teleworking. So my suggestion would be, if we can go back to the remote access policy for the next 4 weeks, I would suggest starting on Monday, 14th. And the 4 weeks would take us to January 11th. It would get us through the holidays. I'll also mention, we've had a couple positives, 2 positive staff who have tested positive for COVID recently, and because of close contacts, those 2 people resulted in 6 employees being quarantined. So my concern in looking to do the remote access policy is to prevent whole departments from being shut down due to positive or quarantine. You know, we have a responsibility to the taxpayers to make sure that our buildings stay, you know, functioning, and we don't lose any services for the residents. So this would be, again, a temporary measure in light of, you know, where the world and the town is right now, to make sure that we can keep all of our services open and running.
Yeah, gentlemen, I've had some background conversations with the town administrator, and as you know, I've been watching this since day one, and trying to navigate the town through this process since day one of this pandemic. And I'll say this much: Bristol County has really jumped up the charts. There's 13 counties in the Commonwealth of Mass. We were always down at number 7, running a close race with Plymouth County, within like 500 or 600 cases. And Bristol County's now jumped into number 5 position, Plymouth being where it's at, and there's roughly a 5,000 person spread between the 2 counties. So, you know, we have seen a pretty big jump in Bristol County. Don't ask me how and why this is occurring in Bristol County, but it is. I don't believe the numbers are lying that much. So we took some action plans before Thanksgiving, knowing that the heavy travel holiday season was upon us. The board was proactive in closing those 3-hour lobby hours down to limit the spread from people in the travel season. And now Ms. Hebert wants to go to the remote action plan. You know, I just want to do what we believe is the best and safest thing to do at this time in the holiday travel season. You know, I don't like it. I went through it the first go around. I think we had some hiccups and some ups and downs, but overall, I think we successfully navigated through that process, the remote action plan. With the holidays being here, I don't think there's a lot of activity, you know, happening right now for our town hall offices. So, you know, I just want to do what this board believes is the best action to take at this time. So I'll turn it over to either one of you gentlemen for your comments.
Well, Mr. Chairman, since the last time we discussed this issue back in October, pretty much right across the board in the 3 categories of case count, average daily balance, and percent positive, the first 2 that I've mentioned there have doubled according to the numbers, and we're up from last week's numbers. We're up to 56 case count, average daily incident rate 38.3, and percent positivity 5.29, which is in 6 weeks basically double of what we had before. We also have the holidays coming up, and we're seeing right now, at least it could be, you know, considered that we're getting the Thanksgiving surge from people. I know people myself who have traveled outside the state, had larger groups of people together, which is your own personal responsibility. I'm not saying that we control that at all, but with all these things happening, I'm seeing the numbers go up. And to see them go up double, and you know, the question is, when do we react? Is it overreaction? Is it reaction? Double to me is a big deal. So so I'm okay with instituting for a month the remote action plan. Once again, people will be able to access town hall if you call, and there will be people here in the building to entertain the people's specific needs. And I think it's, you know, we might have the same thing with Christmas and New Year. People going to parties, people going to dinners, and it's kind of human nature for us to push the limit a little bit. And and look at the consequences later. So I'm okay with going with the remote action plan as proposed by Julie, or as by yourself and Julie, and over the next month.
Yeah, I agree with you, gentlemen. You know, obviously the tight confines of town hall don't lends itself to people being closer than they probably should be. So I'm good with this recommendation. The one thing that I would ask Julie to task Julie with almost immediately is, unlike March 18th, we are not only coming upon the flu season and cold season and sickness, but also we're coming upon the winter snow season. And I would ask that she have a meeting with our DPW, our public safety personnel, to make sure we've got a game plan in place, because in case people get sick, you know, if we've got DPW workers who go out with COVID, or to make sure that we've got a long list of snow plowers, how we would utilize our perhaps our call firefighters. You know, it's going to be an all hands on deck. So Julie, if you could get with the team and report back to us at our next meeting on what that game plan would look like and how we'll execute that. Or maybe you've already done that. I don't know, but I think that's something that we got to look forward to and start anticipating.
Yeah, I'll definitely report back to you and let you know. My thought with DPW is if it came to a snow situation, it would be all hands on deck. I believe we have enough vehicles that they're all in their own vehicle anyway. And obviously, you know, limit contact, you know, going between the vehicles if they have to leave or, you know, go into a main area. But for me, I would think, you know, a snowstorm would be all hands on deck, but otherwise they would do their remote plan as well.
Mm-hmm. Just want to make sure we've got a roster, a deep bench. Again, if people are sick and they can't get out of their homes because of sickness or whatever, just prepare for the absolute worst.
Good point. All right, so is there a motion to go with the remote action plan from December 14th, starting the date of December 14th to January 11th?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Hebert, do you have anything on the town administrator's report you'd like to discuss with the board before we convene?
The only thing I'll mention quickly, and I don't have all the details, but we'll put it on the website. I talked to the chief earlier today, and he is planning another free testing clinic this Saturday. So I'll just mention it here, and anyone who's interested, check the website. We'll have all the info up later.
Okay. Julie, just to go back real quick while we're all in here, to go back real quick to what you started off with, we know that we were, according to the state website, we were at 55, 56. And then you said something that we had an additional 30 something as of yesterday on top of.
So as of yesterday, for the month of December, so in the first 8 days, we had 55 positive cases reported. And today alone, we just got 34 new cases reported in one day. So, I mean, when we look at October was, you know, a high for us at the time with, I think it was like 64 cases. And then November was 124 cases where we doubled the number. And now if we're at, you know, say 90-ish cases 9 days in, we're gonna beat our record from last month. So yeah, we're definitely in the middle of it.
That's something that we don't want to be good at, right?
No.
So, Julie, do you know offhand, if you can get with, you know, Joe or the chief, that data, is that a result of, I know we did pre-testing and then post-testing. Are we capturing that data from our testing, or is that from people who go to, you know, their own doctors or their own walk-in or what have you?
Some of them are from our tests, but I want to say like half. People are going to their own doctors or either sick or, you know, preventative. A lot of times you need a COVID test before you can have some type of, you know, surgery or something. And people are coming back positive. And I know if Chief were here, he would tell you a lot of the people are really shocked when they get the news. So,
so it sounds like a lot of asymptomatic cases, which, you know, I think which it validates and is the point of us initiating community testing, is to try and catch people that aren't necessarily obviously sick, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are the scary guys, right? Those super spreaders, right? We don't know that we have it. We're walking around, we're communicating with people, albeit we should have masks on, but it happens. And you're in a place where there's a group of people, and the next thing you know, 5-10 people get it, and then they go off home and unfortunately pass it on to their loved ones. And it's an unfortunate situation that we're in, and we'll keep doing everything we can to navigate our way through this pandemic as best we can. So, gentlemen, you guys have anything, any announcements, anything you want to discuss?
Nope.
Our
I'm
next
all set.
Our next meeting will be scheduled. We have a meeting scheduled for Friday, hopefully at 1 o'clock, correct, Ms. Hebert?
That's correct.
As long as everything goes well from our end. So, gentlemen, we'll see each other on Friday.
You got it. Thank you.
Is
Very
there a
good.
motion? Is there a
Motion
motion?
to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's ended.
Good
Bye.
night.
Very good, gentlemen. Bye.
Okay.